What is happening, everybody? Welcome to another Words with X, where words keep us moving from day to day. You like how smooth that just flows now? At this point, I think it's just, you expect it. I gotta get my logo on it, but it's just smooth with it, eh? It just flows smooth. And that's kind of the whole topic of today, pretty much. Making a smooth flowing life, if you will. But I gotta do what I do a lot of times, which is, I hate doing it, but it just works so well when I start off with a question. So I gotta ask this question because, like a lot of what I talk about on this channel, is not something that comes up in convo very often, and yet we all do it all the time. So let me ask you, when is the last time you did something you didn't want to do? Hmm? Hmm? Why did you do it? Yeah, I know it's a very broad and open-ended question, but it makes you think, doesn't it? About all we do that we don't want to do for many various reasons, whether that be for loved ones or to achieve the goals we want in the end. The foundation for the reasons why we do what we don't want to do is unlimited. Like the foundational base why we do it is unlimited. There could be so many reasons. It's unlimited. I done said it like 3 times because it's true. It is. But I'm going to talk about a way that is a broad one for me that many may not think of when doing it. And that is to keep the flow of life smooth. Try and keep it smooth. Because, alright, let's be honest. Sometimes in the day, it can go from a smooth ride to a bumpy one. Be it the stuff we can control and the stuff we can't. But for the stuff we can control, for me, I always have it in my mind if I'm doing this or that, whatever it is that has happened going today, to make the day go by smoother. Thus, less stress on me making life go a little bit smoother. Much as can anyway. You can't control everything, but if you can make something smooth, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and make something smooth as much as I can, and thus making life smoother, less stress, all that. Okay, if you get what I'm saying. The idea of getting what we want has become wildly engraved in today's society as a primary thing, and yes, it is an important thing. You should get to the certain point things you want, but I hate to break it to you, after you stop being a kid, getting what you want all the time isn't a thing anymore. It don't happen. That's not the way life works for the most part. Now, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you gotta start looking at yourself as an adult, think of them and drop responsibilities, and just do some things that you just don't want to do per se. Okay. Now, like I said, not to say you can't get what you want, but the rate at which it happens ain't like when you were still in a diaper, crying and whatnot every time you didn't get your bottle or whatever it is that you wanted. Why? I'm gonna be honest. Why I started this was with X by talking about doing things you don't want to do. I'm not talking about just working jobs to get money, but smaller, more powerful things like going to your boyfriend's mom's house to make him happy, which in the end makes you happy. It should anyway. Thus, keeping your life a smooth flow. You kind of get what I'm going with now, kind of. Or I'll give you another example. Or like taking your father to the game that you don't want to take him to, but you're doing it to make him happy, even though you didn't want to go. Or I'll give you one more. Or let me think of something else. Or even cooking a meal someone asked you to cook, even though you didn't want to cook at all. You want to come home, chill, and be good, but they go, "Hey, can you cook this up?" And you were like, "Oh, you know what? I'll cook for them today." You're doing that to appease them. All those type of things is what helps make your life go smooth. It's little things like that, especially in today's time, because we as society do and forget that it has more value than we realize to it. Life really does. Like doing those little things has more value to it than we realize. People don't talk about it, but it is so true. People don't appreciate it like they used to. Hell, you're lucky if they say thank you in today's time. And a good portion of the time, after you've done it, I'm sure you're left feeling like, why did I do this? So you just did something, they don't say thank you, and you're like, why did I do this? Just keep in mind though, even if no one thanks you, shows you appreciation, acknowledges what you've done for what it's worth, life sees what you have done. That energy, it does. I know it sounds weird, but it does. And by doing so, allowed your flow in life to be a little bit more smooth for those moments. I know it sounds weird. You ain't got to believe me. You ain't got to believe me, but I'm living proof, okay? I've done it many times. I've tried to, like, someone asked me to do something. I ain't even gonna say who, just in general. Okay, say someone asked me to do something. In my mind, yes, a lot of times it's like I don't want to do that, but I flip it on the backside. Like, well, if I did do that, like I said earlier in this podcast, I want a smooth flowing life. Just doing it, whatever it may be, unless it ain't crazy. I mean, if I ain't got money to be giving away, so it ain't got nothing to do with money most of the time. But if it's like little things here and there, I will just, flow with it, because doing it, like I said earlier, just makes my life less stressful, for one, because I'm doing that at the time, and two, less stress means it's just flowing a little bit smoother, and that's the honest truth. I mean, you ain't gotta believe me. I mean, just think about it though. You ain't gotta believe me, but think about it. Think about it the next time you find yourself doing something you don't want to do, and after it's done, ask yourself, is life a little smoother because I did it? Really? I mean, stop and think about it. You can sit there and try and go against it, not do it for whatever reason, whatever. That's your choice and everything. But I'm saying sometimes doing those things you don't want to do, just for that greater goal, like I said earlier in this episode, does make life go a little bit smoother. Sounds weird. I know this podcast has probably been a little bit off the wall left and right, because it's such a broad end topic. It's not like a little one thing, like, pick up cheese or something like that. Not like that. But if you really stop and think about it, for whatever the reason, like I said earlier, whatever reason you're doing it for, let that be your end foundation why you're doing it. But really stop and think about it. Next time you find yourself doing something you don't want to do, when it's all said and done, really stop and ask yourself, is life a little smoother because I did it? Did your life go a little smooth while you were doing it because you did that? Think about it. Well, that's another Words with X for today. Hope it got you thinking. Hope it got you viewing some things you do that you don't want to do in a different light now, in a different way. Because, I mean, it really does if you just stop and think about it and look at it from an outside, bigger view. And that's probably a little bit of the reason why I do these podcasts, Trust me. I'll give you a prime example. I didn't even want to do the recording for it today. I had some other stuff to do, but it was sitting on my heart, sitting on my chest, and I wanted to put it out to y'all. And you know what? As I'm doing it, stuff has just felt a little bit smoother in the process. And my life feels a little bit smoother while doing it, if you will. That's my opinion, and proof is in the pudding, if you will. So, all right then, and remember, again, thanks for listening. And I'll say this one last time: words is what keeps us moving.